What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Cleveland Cavaliers video for you guys. And of course, we are now officially less than a week away from the NBA trade deadline, which means it's time for my Cavaliers trade target video that I do every year, where I talk about 5 or so potential trade targets for the Cavs. Now, am I saying we're going to get any of these guys? No, but it would be nice to see the Cavs try and get one of these guys. That's for sure. Now, one thing about these guys is most of them have actually been linked to the Cavs in articles, but again, we'll see if anything actually happens. I mean, for all I know, the Cavs are going to do absolutely nothing again, and I'm going to be irrationally upset because I honestly thought the Cavs could have acquired at least one player for like a couple second rounders. I mean, we see teams throwing second round picks around all the time. And the Cavs, for some reason, love to hoard second round picks. Like, huh? I can understand first rounders. I mean, I know we have a first rounder this year, but we can't trade it. So, yeah, don't be looking for that. But yeah, it's like the Cavs become like really close to their second round picks. Very weird, right? I mean, you got teams out here throwing them around like crazy, and then the Cavs just be hugging those things like crazy. Like, you could trade those, right? We could get a solid role player for a couple second rounders. But no, Kobe loves to hoard those things. It's weird. But yeah, with that being said, before I get into this video, as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, become a member for exclusive perks, and eventually, when I get enough members, I'm going to start doing content. Yeah, members only content, which would pretty much be like rumor videos and stuff. So if you want to see that, become a member, and eventually I'll get to making members only content. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into today's video where I'll be talking about 5 trade targets for the Cleveland Cavaliers heading into the trade deadline. Now, before I get into the players, I'm going to talk about the positions that the Cavs could be looking to boost up in the trade deadline. As you see my trade deadline wish list, number 1, as always, 3-and-D wing. Again, we've been looking for one of those things for the last couple years. We've tried to address the position, hasn't really worked out all that well. I mean, we got Max Strus, who's a straight up dead-eye shooter, but the defensive side is kind of sus, right? We could really go for a solid wing who can shoot threes and defend. That's what we're really looking for. We haven't really been able to find that. Point guard, I know a lot of you think Craig Porter could be that guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a stud, but he's in a two-way contract. And I don't know if I want to have to rely on a guy who was on a two-way contract into the playoffs, right? You don't want a guy who's essentially been there and done that in the playoffs. And other than Craig, we have Ty Jerome, who apparently has a glass ankle, and you have Darius Garland, who's coming back from having a messed up jaw. Because, of course, Ricky Rubio retired. Yeah. We were looking forward to seeing him this year, and he didn't play a minute for us because he retired. So he was away from the team for pretty much the entire season, and then he just decided to retire. And now he's in Spain. I guess he's going to be playing over there now. So, yeah, wish all the best to him. No ill will, Mental health is something to really keep an eye on these days. But yeah, we could really go for a good backup point guard to take the burden off of Darius Garland, especially when you have Ty Jerome, who, like I said, has a glass ankle. And then backup big man, of course. You look at our situation at center. You have Jared Allen, who just got hurt last night, but I heard he's questionable for tomorrow. We'll see if he plays. Behind him, you have Evan Mobley, who's just coming off a knee injury. He's still on a minutes restriction. And then, of course, you have Damian Jones, who you can't really rely on for the most part. He does come up big every once in a while, but, he derps mostly. And then you have the dumbass Tristan Thompson, suspended 25 games because he was out here taking HGH, human growth hormones. What are we doing, bro? Oh, dude's out here cheating on the court and off the court. Ridiculous. And I think a backup point guard and a backup big man could come relatively cheap. But yeah, 3-and-D wing, as always, that seems to be pretty expensive. So with that being said, let's talk about my Cavalier trade targets for this upcoming trade deadline. And the first one is a name that I've seen connected to the Cavs quite a bit, and that is Royce O'Neal. Now, looking at Royce O'Neal's stats, 46 games, 7 points, 4.5 total rebounds, 3 assists, rounded up, 38% from the field, 36% from three, 65% from the free throw line, which is considerably down from his career average of 77.5. Oh, not great. And then his EFG percentage is about 53.1, which is a little lower than his career average. His PER is 10.1, and his win shares is 1.6. So he's solid. He would be a solid bench piece for the Cavs. You look at his contract, and of course, he's a free agent next year. So he probably wouldn't come too expensive. I've heard that he could be had for a couple second round picks. But as we know, Kobe Altman really loves his second rounders, and you'd have to pry them away from his cold, dead hands to be able to trade them. He loves hoarding those things for some reason. Kind of wish he could shake that little obsession with them, but I don't know. I mean, we were interested in Royce last year, but I think last year the Nets wanted more for him. Maybe this year we could get him for maybe a second rounder or something. I don't know. Maybe two. But yeah, Royce O'Neal would be a very, very good piece for the Cavaliers. Not to mention, in case you didn't know, he's friends with Donovan Mitchell. Of course. Not only that, he's best friends with him. It's another reason why we should go out and get him, right? Now, the next guy I'm going to talk about is backup point guard Tyus Jones. Now, believe it or not, once upon a time, the Cavs actually they drafted him. Yeah, they drafted Tyus Jones, and then they promptly traded him right away to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, looking at his stats, 47 games, 12 points, 3 total rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 49.5% from the field, 40% from three, 74% from the free throw line, and his EFG percentage is 56.8, so about 57. His PER is 16.5, and he has about a 3 win share. And then as far as his contract goes, again, he'll be a free agent after the season. So he probably wouldn't cost too much. Unless the Wizards just love him and they won't get rid of him unless it's for like maybe a first or something. Because, of course, we don't have a first round pick this year to trade. I don't know if we can trade future first rounders. But yeah, I don't know about getting Tyus. I know a lot of teams would probably be interested in him. But man, I would not mind Tyus Jones on the Cavs as a backup, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens. I would love Tyus though, for real. Now, the next guy I'm going to talk about is actually a backup big man, and that is Nick Richards of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Nick Richards' stat line, 37 games, about 10 points, 8 total rebounds, and barely 1 assist, shooting 69 nice percent from the field. Has not shot a 3 this year, surprisingly. Doesn't seem like he shoots too many of them. He's shooting 50% from 3 in his career. Wow. He's shooting 75% from the free throw line, and his EFG percentage is 69. Nice. Like legit nice. From the field and his EFG percentage, both 69. Awesome. His PER is 17.6 or about 18, and he has about a 3 win share. And you look at his contract, he actually has technically 2 years next year, and then 25-26 is non-guaranteed. So essentially that's 2 years left on his contract. Yeah, he would be a solid backup big man. Especially because he's 26, so he would fit in the age range that the Cavs love, right? The younger guys that would fit the timeline. Not too old. He's a low-key stud. Yeah, I think he'd be attainable, again, for the right price. Don't want to pay too much for him. I'm sure Kobe would be able to work something out, right? Now, next we're going to go after a guy that I've only recently seen connected to the Cavs. In fact, he was mentioned, I think, recently in an article being linked to the Cavs. And it's actually a guy that I wanted the Cavs to draft when he was eligible. And that, of course, is DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks. Now, you look at DeAndre's stats in 25 games, so he hasn't played a whole lot. 15 points, 4 total rebounds, and about 1 assist. Shooting 46% from the field, 40% from 3, which is way above career average. 91% from the free throw line, which is way above career average. And EFG percentage is 54.8, so about 55. And then his PER is 11.8, so 12. And he's got about a 1 win share. Yeah, I would absolutely love DeAndre Hunter on the Cavs. Now, the problem is his contract. He's making a lot of money. He's got a couple years left. He's got 3 years left on his contract after this year. He's got 24, 25, 2025, 2026, and then 2026, 2027. He's making $21 million next year, $23 million in 25, 26, and then $24 million in 26, 27 as a base salary. Do we really want that on our team right now? With the impending extensions coming up? Not really sure. I'm sure Dan Gilbert would be willing to dish out the dough for a contending team. But yeah, we'll see. I think our priority number 1 this offseason, of course, is locking up Donovan Mitchell. But I would love DeAndre Hunter on this team. No doubt about it. Now, we're going to wrap this up with a little 2-for-1 action here. I'm going to talk about the Bogdanovich duo. Now, I'm pretty sure they're not actually brothers. I actually looked it up. Yeah, they're not brothers. One is Serbian, the other one's Bosnian, Herzegovinian, whatever. Okay, but yeah, they're not actually brothers, which is shocking. I actually thought they were brothers this entire time. Yeah, I was today years old that I found out they're not brothers. Some people are going to be like, what? You just now figured that out? Yeah, I, for some reason, thought they were brothers. I mean, what? Last names mean they're brothers, right? Same last name. But it's like, oh yeah, they're like completely different nationalities. But yeah, you look at, of course, the most attainable one of the duo is, in my opinion, Bogdan. 45 games, 17 points, 3 total rebounds, about 3 assists, 43% from the field, 37% from 3, so it's a little lower than his career average. Shooting 90% from the free throw line, which is way above his career average of 83. And he's got a 54.2 EFG percentage, which is right at his career average. His PER is 15.4, and he's got about a 2.3 win share. And you look at his contract, and again, he has a couple years left, including a club option in 2026, 2027 for $16 million. I honestly think the Cavs could possibly get him. Now, to get him, you're probably going to have to give up a solid piece like Caris LeVert or Ice Okoro or something like that. I don't know, would they be willing to give up LeVert or Okoro for Bogdan? I don't think so, but you never know. But I would love Bogdanovich on my squad. Of course. The dude always cooks us when we play him. And of course, you can't cook us if you play for us. You can cook for us, right? And then, wrapping this up, we're looking at the other Bogdanovich and Bojan, who we just faced with the Pistons. 26 games, 20 points, 3.4 total rebounds, 2.5 assists, shooting 47% from the field, 41% from 3, 76.5% from the free throw line, and a 57% EFG percentage. His PER is 14, and he's averaging about a 1 win share. So, yeah, not much there. And then contractually, he has 1 more year left after this year, and it's partially guaranteed. So, would the Cavs be willing to do it? If the Pistons want to get rid of him, which I don't think they will. No, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. Now, of this group, who's the most attainable for the Cavs? I think it's pretty easy to determine that. I think it's Royce O'Neal and maybe Nick Richards. if you want to go that route. But I think Royce is the most attainable one. I think we could get him for maybe 1 or 2 second rounders. But yeah, I would love Royce O'Neal on the Cavs, and I know Donovan would too. Even though he'll be a free agent after this year, but we could always lock him up for a couple more years afterwards. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, especially now because it's trade season and you never know when something's going to go down. I mean, heck, for all I know, I could literally set this video to upload and then a trade could happen. And that could make this video completely irrelevant. Imagine that, though, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, become a member. You know, the whole shebang. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Cavs and Spurs. With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Cavs. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Bye-bye. Go Cavs. Yeah. Work your magic, Kobe. Yeah.